Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, Britain has got a problem that not many people are aware of. It's something the government know about and are attempting to, say, facilitate a response to. But one of the big problems with this problem is that one of the solutions is unpalatable for them. The problem is water, or specifically, a lack of water. Water is becoming very scarce. Now, we've had a very dry start to the year. Reservoir levels are already low. It has been warm over the last couple of days. People will be out there watering their lawns, kids will be playing in sprinklers and things like that. And that is using water. I'm surprised we actually haven't had a hosepipe ban already. One of the problems we've got is we're bringing in 1 million immigrants a year. These are legal, absolutely legal immigrants. But the problem is we don't have the facilities. We don't have the water resources. And increasingly, this is an increasing demand on already stretched resources, often in, say, busy places like London or Manchester, already struggling for water places. And nobody has got nobody's got a political cure for this. Of course, it's easy to sort that 1 million a year immigration problem out. You do a one in, one out basis. You say, right, take a ticket. If you want to come to Britain, take a ticket. And as one person leaves, you allow the next one in. Or, better still, as two people leave, you allow one person in. And that way you can help reduce the problem and ease the demand for water in this country. We haven't built a reservoir in nearly 50 years. We haven't done drainage management for maybe 100 years. And of course, the big one of all, we're not putting the boards of directors of water companies into jail. Not fast enough, not quick enough, not often enough. Now, once we start jailing the board members of water companies, I suspect you'll find an awful lot of the leaks will magically be fixed very, very quickly. Because we lose about a quarter of our water in leaks. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Fix the leaks, sort out the immigration, and you won't have to worry so much about water. But until that happens, the government's come up with a brilliant idea. I use the word brilliant jokingly. It's how they think of it. Me, not so sure. They're proposing tariff changes and basically block water. By block, I don't mean, clog up the drains. You basically buy a block of water. And so for your first block of water, let's say first 10,000 gallons, you will pay a minimum charge. Penny a gallon. For your next 10,000 gallons that you use, you pay 3 pence a gallon. For the next 10,000 gallons, you pay 10 pence a gallon, and so on. Now you might think that's a brilliant idea. If you use more, you pay more. If you're wasteful, you've got to pay for that waste. Excellent idea. But let's talk about stopping the leaks first. But also, doesn't that penalise children, families with children? So some little old woman living on her own doesn't use much water, gets it nice and cheap. But some young couple struggling away, 3 kids, bath times, kids leaving taps running, a lot more, cleaning with washing machines and things, kids being what they are, they're actually going to be penalised, aren't they? These are problems that I don't think the government have thought about. How do you do it in such a way that's fair? Maybe each person living in a house is registered and each person gets so much free water, like your tax allowance. You get your water allowance. Then any use over that is then monitored, paid for. You'd need smart meters, not just water meters. So it wouldn't just, wouldn't just clock round on what water you used, but would clock round on what water you used over allowances for the house and so forth. Also, they're looking at monitoring variable pricing, so that if you use it during the day, you pay more than if you used it at 2 o'clock in the morning, for example. Things like that. Would mean a lot of people getting up early doors just to have a shower, though, wouldn't it? Or they'd be out there spraying their lawns at 2 a.m. While they're getting their cheap water. I know people that did that when the hosepipe bans are on. Do you know how the council get around that? They put up drones and look at very green grass. And I happen to know somebody who received a knock on the door saying, your grass is suspiciously green, even though there's a hosepipe ban. And he told them to FRO. They demanded entry. He said, you got your warrant? No. FRO. Anyway, they came back about 2 days later with a warrant. He said, no, very good, you got your warrant. Come and have a look at the grass. And he took him outside, artificial lawn. And he was like, you know. But he did like to dick him around. And I thought that's good. Because officials like that, they do deserve to be dicked around, don't they? But that's what happened. So anyway, yeah, we got this massive problem. The driest start to England's summer in 70 years. Mass immigration, taking up water usage. Massive leaks and no one going to jail for it. And that's when they're not busy pumping shit into our rivers and seas. And of course, waste. So let's approach the problem from all four aspects. Sure, have a campaign, tell people, don't waste water. That's fine. Let's close the borders and have a one-in, one-out policy, at the very least. That's fine. Let's start jailing the board members and sort out the leaks. And let's leave block water and variable pricing and smart meters for someone else another day. We don't want them. We don't need them. And it's very punitive to those often at the bottom end of earnings. You know, when you got the young family with the children, already got too many other calls on their purses already, with usually high either high rents or mortgages and all the associated debt that you have when you start out in life. It's all right when you sit at the end and you bought all your shit and you're cosy. Anyway, there we go. Another bright idea because the government are doing what the government always do. We have a problem. Let's sort it out by effectively bath time tax. So yeah, you can have a bath or you can have a shower, but we're going to effectively charge you more for having a bath. It's bath tax now. You think you've heard it all. I'm wondering, beard tax, window tax, one eye tax, who knows? Carpet tax. Let me know what you think. Thanks very much. Take care. Goodbye.